So, the Xbox Games Showcase event just ended. And they told us we're gonna get Destiny 2. That's what I think of Destiny. Well, here we are, folks. After the Xbox Game Showcase event, it's time to wake up and smell that coffee. Because it's still in the details and we're getting down to the brass tacks. Now, let me tell you what. I've watched a lot of game presentations, but that was one of the worst. And as an Xbox fan, I am struggling to find many good things, but I wanted to take today to go through some of the best things I've seen from this showcase, which there are not many, but there are some interesting things that I want to delve into, so let's jump right into it. The bottom line is this. I came away from that event realizing this major thing. There's no reason to go next gen right now. There's no reason to buy a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X. And it's incredibly sad. But I guess this is kind of expected. I should have expected this. I was hoping for a great event that showed me some software that really pushed the boundaries of what gaming could do. But honestly, what I saw was that both consoles are going a step backwards. Yes, they look like next gen looks a whole lot like current gen, and that's not going to satisfy my need. My need is this. When I put my money on the counter and I say, please give me your best console, I want to see some fruition come from what these corporate whores have implanted. Look, there's not any software or service that makes me want to invest in either console. Halo Combat Evolved was my first game for Xbox, and the first gaming experience I had, leaning toward the next generation. It astounded me. It was a fantastic game, and to this day, I still love Halo Combat Evolved. Since then, things have deteriorated in a way that just, unfortunately, sucks. I haven't liked Halo very much since they lied to us about Halo 2, and if you don't remember them lying to us about Halo 2, well, you're a little too young for these videos, and I think you need to go elsewhere. But I am interested in learning more about the environment, and it shows this huge environment, but what's really out there for us to discover besides some probably collectibles? As far as I'm concerned, Halo did not impress. There's nothing there that I think is interesting. The weapons, of course, I like the weapons I've seen, but if that's all they're showing us, just basically DLC weapons, I have no interest in that. I have no prospect to gain from investing in Halo Infinite. So as someone who's been there since day one with Halo, literally day one, I don't see why the story even continues. There's no logical direction to go, other than maybe we're going back in time, like Avengers Endgame type shit. And that idea has been beaten to goddamn death. This, God almighty, If that's what's happening, which is the only way it makes sense, because the technology looks like we've gone back, and the brutes are now in league with the elites again, and the grunts and all that, and the jackals. Bro, the timeline is so fucked. I don't even care about the story at this point. So, that's all I have to say about Halo Infinite. It seems interesting, the new weapons, the larger environment, but what is there to gain from any of that, really? And it does not look all that graphically appealing. Let me tell you, I've been underwhelmed before, but that was hella goddamn underwhelming. Holy shit. So some of you may know or not, I am a huge fan of State of Decay. I bought the first one, the Day 1 edition, the deluxe, whatever. I bought State of Decay 2, the physical edition. I got the upgraded package, it's great. I'm not going to say it's a perfect experience, of course not, but it's my type of experience. I really enjoy State of Decay and building a community and having all these survivors with different traits. I think that shit's fantastic. And I was really surprised that they showed State of Decay 3 is going to be a title we can soon play. And look, it's not a reason to buy Series X. As I'll get into these games deeper, I don't have a reason to buy Series X Xbox. I have a reason to buy Xbox Game Pass, of course. Game Pass Ultimate, sure. But State of Decay 3, I doubt is going to be the experience I'm looking for on Xbox Series X. Now, will I buy State of Decay 3 Day 1? Yes, I'm going to. That is my intention. I am on board because Undead Labs keeps updating the game, and it's gotten better over time. Yeah, there was a glitchy atmosphere to it, and there's a glitchy atmosphere to the original State of Decay, but that's just one of the quirks. I can look past certain things to have this zombie experience in a world of survival horror where you're collecting materials and food, and you got to make sure that your base is well maintained, and you have all these different survivors with their own personal stories. I think that shit is amazing. Now, obviously it's been done before with, let's say, Dead Rising 1. The original Dead Rising was an incredibly fantastic game that really proved to me that there is a spot in the world for next generation games. That was one of the last games that I was truly, extremely excited for. I mean, I downloaded videos, I burnt videos to a DVD and watched them. That's how big of a fan I was of Dead Rising. And the fact that they didn't show us Dead Rising, I'm not buying an Xbox Series X Day 1, or even Year 1 for that matter, probably. Unless they drop something big, and from the showcase, we haven't seen much in regards to bigness. The scale is shockingly low. But as far as State of Decay 3 goes, I'm there Day 1. They don't have to do much besides show me the damn logo. But that was a pretty interesting trailer. I liked what I seen there. And yeah, there's not much left to say about it. It was just a CG trailer, and that's all I need. I don't even need to see gameplay because I know what we're getting into. So, some of you may know or may not, I am a fan of Life is Strange. And the fact that Don't Nod is coming out with a game, that's all I need to know. I'm pretty much going to be there because their storytelling is done in such a fantastic way that is different from every other storytelling experience in other games. I will be there. Maybe Day 1. I don't know. When games are released episodically, I can't buy into that. When Hitman did it, I was like, what the fuck? But games like Life is Strange, I can understand having a story be episodic. It makes sense, but I still might not be there Day 1. I will eventually play this game, but come on, folks. I can't say it looks all that incredibly satisfying. Tell me why. I don't know much about it, but let me tell you, I am interested. I am interested. Does it look like a next-gen title? God, no! Will I buy it for next-gen? Probably fucking not. I think I'm not getting next gen until we're way down the road. Even if I have bundles of cash, what's the point? Besides making these videos to buy a freaking console. Bro. Seriously. Go down to the comments right now and tell me one goddamn reason why I should invest in the next generation. Seriously. But as far as tell me why goes, it was one of the few games that interested, I felt some kind of interest to it. But, who knows? It might be terrible, but I have a feeling Don't Nod kind of will deliver on everything they do. If you like Life is Strange, well, this is probably going to be for you. If you don't, it's definitely not going to be for you. Stay away because, yeah. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty much the same experience, but in a different story. So as someone who's been interested in base building experiences, I'd say Grounded looks interesting. I can't say it looks like a title that I'm going to buy day one. Most certainly not. I just hope it's not a purely online, Sea of Thieves experience. I will shit on Sea of Thieves until I die. Because that's not my experience. I'm sorry, I don't play online games. I don't like the experience. I almost never get a good experience from that. But if we can play Grounded single player, that'll be most interesting to me. But it doesn't look all that fantastic like The Forest or, certain other games where there's a base building experience and survival aspect. I do find it interesting, but I'm remaining skeptical. So I don't have much to say about Avowed, but at least there's a new IP coming that might be epic. It could be. But right now we don't know enough. It just looks like a generic cookie cutter, pretty much, RPG experience. Something we've seen many times. But I will say props to them for showing something that isn't a rehash or, a needless sequel, a needless add-on for that matter. At least they're going in some type of direction that is an original story, regardless if the game mechanics seem to be rehashed over and over and over again. I am curious to see what happens there, but we don't know enough. Right now, all we got was that CG trailer, and that is not enough for me, but I am mildly interested. So as someone who enjoys Life is Strange and story games like The Walking Dead, where they take precedent over the story instead of the gameplay, I am interested to see what this interactive drama has to offer. As Dusk Falls may be a title that I'm interested in day one, but right now I'm not sure. I'm glad to see a new independent studio coming to light and sharing their story with us. This might be good. I am more interested in games that take a precedent over story rather than just gameplay. You can have a terrible story in a game with great gameplay, or you can have a great story, in a game with minimal gameplay. And I'm kind of curious to see where that goes. So a lot of people are pretty excited for Stalker 2. That seems to be the highlight of this game showcase. Stalker 2. I didn't play Stalker 1. I watched a little bit of footage. It's supposed to be some kind of amazing experience, but really I do not see anything amazing about it. Really, I have limited things to say about this game. I didn't play the first Stalker. I know it's a PC game and it's supposed to be amazing. That's all I've heard about it. It's amazing. I don't know shit about it. A nuclear event happened. Chernobyl or something. But I could care less. I will say I'm curious to see what they can do, but I have a feeling this will be a Crisis 2 situation, if you know what I mean. I don't think it's going to live up to the expectations. Coming from the first one, I doubt this is going to live up to those expectations, but I guess we'll see. I'm very skeptical, but God, another first-person shooter, I might be good. So one of the few surprising things we got from this Xbox Game Showcase event was the Medium. This looks like the answer to my nightmarish desires. I want something that is in the realm of Silent Hill, Twin Peaks, Deadly Premonition, a weird experience. I like weird, dark nightmares. And this seems to be no exception. They're selling us on the idea that two worlds are being generated at once, simultaneously. Now, does that mean we can jump into one world and jump into the other, or are there two screens going at once on the screen? I really don't know, but I am interested at this point. I am aware there may be a downgrade of some sort, but right now this title looks to be the most interesting thing aside from State of Decay 3 to me. I love nightmares, and I love living through a world of survival horror, and hopefully this is a great addition to the genre, because right now, frankly, we don't have all that much. I don't play Dead by Daylight. That's a piece of garbage to me. But I want that aesthetic world to be a reality in a game, and the medium might be the nightmarish world I'm looking for. So the final hurrah they gave us was Fable. Am I a Fable guy? Not exactly. I played the first Fable. They promised us something that they didn't deliver, which was a world we could pretty much twist in any way we wanted it. It was supposed to be our choice. We create our hero, or we create our villain. But let me tell you what, you're all a bunch of liars. You're out of your minds. That didn't happen. I don't know what game everyone else played, but that's not what I played. Bullshitting me. It was a linear experience that had some RPG elements that kind of made it feel like there was a karma system or whatever, but really, this is just a linear-ass experience. And am I excited for new Fable? No, of course not. I'm not excited at all. Am I interested to see what they can do with it, now that it's on the next generation of consoles? Yeah, I'm curious. But let me tell you what, I'm aware that they are probably going to fail me again. Probably going to fail a lot of us again. I tried, okay? I tried with Fable. It sucks. Tell me something good about Fable. Anything. Tell me anything good about Fable. And, we'll get down to those brass tacks, but for right now, as far as I'm concerned, it's a generic RPG with fantasy elements. Yeah, that's all it is. Now, as far as my final thoughts on this game showcase, God almighty, I've seen some fucking showcases, but damn, it's not all that fantastic. Now, let's get down to the brass tacks. Is there a reason to buy the next generation consoles? No. If you think that, I want you to go down below right now and tell me a fucking reason why. Give me one goddamn reason why I should invest my hard-earned money in the next generation if it just looks like we're going back. It looks like we're going backwards, folks. The graphics aren't that appealing. It doesn't seem that there's huge open worlds. Halo said there's this large area, but they didn't show anything of that. What's in the area that's so important? Why would we even bother? It just seems like you can proceed forward. It's linear as fuck. Just the same old Halo experience. Am I interested? Yes. To what extent? Little. I don't care that much about Halo. I haven't cared about Halo since Combat Evolved, and maybe ODST, but that story was short as fuck. I could beat that game in like 2 hours. But am I interested? Sure. Try something. Try something, folks. 343 Studios. I don't know. I don't know. My opinion on that is limited. But I will say I am interested. Day one, State of Decay 3. Is that a next generation title? I do not think so. Now I'm gonna need a reason, folks. Why should anyone invest in the next generation? Horizon Zero Dawn 2 for PlayStation 5? Fuck that. I would rather just take some NyQuil and go to sleep. Because that is a boring-ass game. Horizon Zero Dawn is boring as fuck. Now, as far as Xbox exclusive, Halo? Ooh, Halo. I can't wait to play the same game for the 6th time. oh boy, uh, they've got to really do something. I mean, they got to fucking really do something at this point to sell me on the next generation, because as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be years down the road before I get involved. This is a fucking tragedy. This is incredibly sad, and it continues to get sadder and 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 sadder. You think I'm going to spend $450, $500 on a box that can do the exact same fucking thing that my console can do? Right now, my Xbox One plain? Vanilla? Yeah. Sell me on the idea. You can't just sit there and show me, A Bug's Life build simulator. Fucking, you can't show me these games that we can already have on these consoles. Just, folks, I think this is it. I think the next generation is, I think we're years away from it. Maybe down the line we'll get some exclusives that make sense. But personally, I don't give a goddamn about the exclusives. What I want to see is, exclusive or not, what I want to see is a dynamic setting, a world we can explore that has a lot of detail to it, and not just, ooh, I can walk anywhere on this map. Tactical advantages. I don't care, okay? Unless there's a reason for me to explore your world that you've created so large for no fucking reason, well, there is no fucking reason. I'm not gonna jump into your world and pay $60 just to fucking walk around. Museum simulator? No fucking thank you. They can take that and shove it where the sun doesn't shine. Because this is Dylan in the fucking details, and I'm getting down to those brass tacks. I'm taking the gloves off from now on. This is unprecedented. Here's the thing, folks. We all just lost. When it comes to console gaming and the next generation, I think there's not a reason for any of us to buy these consoles. Other than, ooh, the clout. Ooh, I'm so fucking cool because I got the money to buy the new technology, but there's no fucking software on the said technology to fucking make the purchase worth it. And that's what I want to see. Convince me. How is the next generation going to make it worth it?